Well, hi. Thanks for speaking with me. I appreciate it. I very much love the show. Sad to see you go as an actor. Maybe not the character, but as an actor, I'm sad to see you go. Let's put it that way.
Spoiler alert,
Well, yeah, this is gonna go up after that. Um,
I'm out of here.
yeah. So, had you read the comics before you got the part?
Oh yeah, yeah, huge fan of the source material. Source material is the words that I've said the most today so far during all this media. Source material. Yeah, big fan of it. Big fan of Tim Seeley.
Right. So, what did you take like outside of the comics and the script? Where else did you pull from besides that? Because obviously he's even different than in the comics, it seems like. So,
Yeah, I think they're a little more rednecky in the books, maybe a little more rural Wisconsin. Yeah, I think they just kind of updated and tweaked the character a little bit. Like he's somebody who's from, middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, who wants everyone to believe that he's, maybe like some sort of a New York kingpin or something like that. So he's a small fish, wants to run the big pond, so to speak.
all right. You say that though. Does he not believe that he's maybe as big as he acts then? He doesn't believe it?
Oh no, I think he believes it. I think that's one of his shortcomings for sure.
That's fair. What was the other than coming up with that? What was the prep like for this? What did you do?
Uh, Honestly, not to it makes me sound like incredibly lazy, but not a whole lot. I have one episode where it's supremely like Anthony Check focused. And the idea was just, okay, I'm smaller than my little brothers. I bully them around. I'm running this operation. I think I'm a big shot. Anthony Check is not there for a long time. He's there for a good time, So I think it was more not to diminish the character, but it was more just you. I'm playing a bad guy. Every decision that he makes is a selfish one, and the more kind of campy and evil I felt I could be in the short amount of time I was going to be on screen would benefit because he's got a pretty spectacular death. And to me, the focus was getting people to want to see that spectacular death.
All right. That was what I was going to ask. So, how did you connect to that dark part of him? Because he is quite an evil character. So, how did you kind of get to that headspace?
Uh, we're we're all human beings. I think we all have that darkness, that evil inside of us. Being a fan of the source material, I think helped a lot. But also, you can't be a big enough bad guy unless you have a big enough hero to work with. And I think the Cypresses are just on screen absolutely lovely. On the page, the way they're written, they're very sympathetic characters, and you can really kind of root for them. So my thought process was giving them a bad guy that they could conquer mid season, that people actually wanted to see them conquer.
Okay. What part of him, I guess, did you connect with in the sense of like maybe you see yourself in him? I know you say there's darkness in everybody, but I'm hoping you're not that dark. So, I'm just kind of curious, like maybe you pulled some from yourself. I don't know.
I mean, I look at it very pragmatically. Um, like we all need to put food on the table. We all need to survive. This is his way of doing it. He he has good intentions. He obviously is trying to do all this to better his life for his mother, but it really all winds up just kind of being an excuse that he doesn't have to kind of work hard a day in his life. He gets to take the easy way out. He gets to do this illegal stuff. It's an opportunity that arises, and he takes advantage of it. And it's perfectly logical to him. It doesn't matter who he hurts.
All right. Talk about your fight scene with M in this episode coming up.
You talk about it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to see it. Romy tells me it's amazing. She tells me I killed it, and I trust her because I adore her. I met her on set, worked with her all day. We became really fast friends. I think she plays a really fun character, M, who has this debilitating brittle bone disease, which after she becomes a reviver, winds up becoming a superpower. So I love the story of a sympathetic hero character that uses their greatest weakness and turns it into their greatest strength. So really being able to be a foil for her and do this fight scene, I told her straight up, there's rules in Hollywood where, we use camera tricks and there's not a whole lot of physical violence and all that other stuff. And I kind of threw that out the window. And I was just like, I come from the world where like, you're not going to hurt me. Like there's nothing you can do that is going to bother me, hurt me. I said, the M needs to be, she's got to be a little devil here and she's got to completely destroy this guy. So we got pretty physical pretty fast. And I think I'm hoping, again, haven't seen it. I'm hoping it translates and I'm hoping we get to see M really kind of wild out and show what she's made of.
Yeah, it looks really good. Looks painful for her though, because her bones are breaking as she's going, but it looks really
She's a superhero, so she'll live.
good. Yeah. So did you enjoy doing the stunts? I mean, obviously you have a background that it's I'm sure it wasn't difficult for you, but did you enjoy getting to do that?
Loved it. Yeah, absolutely. When you get to technically, I guess it's my level of expertise, right? I definitely don't think I am the greatest actor in the world. But when it comes to being physical and the wrestling side of things, I definitely can claim that I have some expertise in that. So being able to use that from one world to another, I think is a lot of fun, and it helped out a lot.
Who's somebody you would have liked to have gotten more scenes with that you didn't get to work with very much?
Oh my God, Sheriff Cypress, right? Like so, great friend of mine. Um, God, he. So this is the second television show I've done with him, and we have never done one single scene together. So we're crossing our fingers that third time's the charm. I met Melanie on set, got to do brief stuff with her, and she's just fantastic too. Those are the three main ones. I think out of this cast, I would love to work with anybody really, but those are the three. I think I'm hoping, knocking on wood, somewhere down the line I get to work with again.
Was there something from the comics that you would have liked to have gotten to do with him? I mean, I know, like I said, I know he wasn't the same, but was there maybe something from there you would have liked to have been in the character, some kind of scene,
Hmm.
since you do know?
Specifically for Anthony Check.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, selfishly, I just kind of wish he was around for a little bit longer, maybe. We
Fair.
just get to have some more fun with him. But um, I think he served his purpose. I think he wasn't there for a long time. He was there for a good time, and I hopefully he bridges the gap between the middle of the season and the end.
All right. I was gonna say I would ask you if you were surprised, but obviously if you read the comics, you knew he was gonna die, so that doesn't work. So let me
Yeah,
ask you this: how did you go from wrestling into deciding to act? Like, what was that transition?
I think it's a natural progression. I think pro wrestling, a lot of at its essence, you can draw a lot of parallels to Broadway, and it's really kind of prepared me for acting and being on set because a lot of people don't like hearing this, but wrestling is hard. Wrestling is brutal travel. Um, it's tough physically and mentally. So sitting on a set for 18 hours, drinking coffee and eating snacks, uneasy.
That
I
was
see a
easy.
lot of other people. I see a lot of other people kind of flip out and they get impatient. I'll sit in my chair all day and just be like, happy to be here, learning experience always, and it's fun gaining wisdom from other people who've been doing it for so long. But pro wrestling is a lot like Broadway because there's the live audience, there's an instant reaction when you are on the stage or in the ring. They are your bosses. Doesn't necessarily matter what you were told to do or what you're supposed to do. The way the people react to you in the wrestling ring, I'm not an actor, I'm a reactor.
Mhm.
On a movie set or television set, I get to liberally screw up and I get to just shoot it again. We can do another take. I can do 36 takes if I want to. It might anger the director, but live wrestling is more like Broadway, where it's live. There's no rewind, there's no do over, there's no retake. It's go go go.
Was it hard at the beginning, though, not having that immediate reaction from an audience, even though it's a different kind of audience? You don't have people around watching and telling you good job and, whatever else. I'm just curious.
No, I don't think so because I certainly it's not like I expected everyone to clap when I was done
Yeah.
shooting a scene. You know, especially television. Television and movies is also a drastically different pace. You know, if you're shooting a television show, it's you're lucky if you get two or three takes and then you're moving on to the next thing because they got a schedule and they got a deadline and they got a budget, you know, and with movies, you can maybe fiddle around with it a little bit more, but TV is a little tighter.
All right, fair enough. I know we're almost out of time. Let me ask you really quick. What's your dream role now that you are acting? What would you like to get to do?
Oh gosh, my dream role. Oh man, you're really putting me on the spot. Nothing
Sorry.
nice. It's going to drive me crazy. And then, like later today at the gym, I'm going to be like, "That's it. That's my dream role." Um,
That's okay.
well, no, in the realm of revival, comic book, making it to television, and they've done it. They've made a Preacher television show, which I was not a fan of. They've made a Why the Last Man television show, which I was not a fan of. Those are two of my favorite graphic novels. One of my favorite comic book writers is Jason Aaron, and he wrote a book called Scalped. And I think it was maybe optioned, and they maybe talked about shooting a pilot. I would love to be involved in some sort of a source material comic book adaptation of Scalped or any comic book that I'm a really big fan of. I'm a huge fan of Larry Hama's G.I. Joe from the 80s and the 90s. So, you know, if Hollywood's going to make a blockbuster GI Joe movie again, I'd be knocking on somebody's door in the middle of the night trying to sign up for that. You know, so I think just being a fan of comic books from when I was a kid and to be able to be at this stage of my life, possibly vying for a role in a comic book movie or television show would be pretty cool. But I'm grateful for being in revival. You know, like I'm living the dream, literally.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll have to look for that in the future, I guess. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Like I said, I love the show, so I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the season. I know they sent the two more episodes. I want to go watch it.
Oh, get to watching them. Get to
Yeah.
watching them. Hopefully they're good. Thank you, Jamie.
All right. Thanks so much. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye bye.